Hi, welcome back to The Vinyl Record Collector. Today I'm going to be talking about an album from 1972. When I was 16 years old, this album came out, made it right to #1, same as their previous album, made it to #1 in the UK. Their previous album was called Fireball, and this was the follow-up less than a year later, Deep Purple, Machine Head. And memories of this, let me just firstly show you the cover. So this is the cover, Deep Purple, Machine Head. Nice blurred picture of the band, very artsy. Gatefold, everything was gatefold in those days. One of the nice things about collecting records is that you get these really cool covers. And just lots of pictures of the band during the recording sessions in Montreux. And then, of course, the reason it's called Machine Head, the machine head of the bass guitar on the back. I've got several versions of this actually. This is the standard stereo version on Harvest, and also have a quadraphonic version of this, which they actually released with a little sticker on the front called Quadradisc, but since I don't have a quadraphonic system, and there we are. So that was the two versions I got. I think I got this in a thrift store as well in the United States, so I was quite lucky to find that for less than $1 to get. That was pretty cool. And this one actually came, like a lot of them do when you don't shop on the internet, this came with no inner liner. And I wonder why people do that. They must have taken the record out, tossed the inner sleeve away. So, but nevertheless, a lot of them have survived in pretty good shape. So what's my memory of 1972, March 1972, when this came out? First of all, I remember my mate Rob went out and bought this. He was a big Deep Purple fan. We were at school together, and Rob, myself, and a great friend of ours, Terry, we used to listen to this at Terry's house, and in his kitchen. His parents would be in the other room watching TV, and we would have the kitchen table cleared and be playing Subbuteo. Those of you who don't know what Subbuteo is, it's a little table football game where you kind of flick the players along and they hit the ball, and you try and score goals, and you have a goalie on a stick and that kind of stuff. Soccer to your American friends. And it was really a big deal. You know, a lot of teenage kids played it in those days. I guess it's still around. I guess you can still get Subbuteo. I'm sure you can. But we used to have a proper board that we'd put down with a kind of the green baize that would represent the pitch. And this was just one of the albums. I remember, well, I've been a lifelong Everton supporter, and mate Terry was a Wolverhampton Wanderers supporter, and Rob was a Newcastle supporter, and this really reminds me of that. Reminds me of those times at Terry's parents' house playing Subbuteo, and yeah, I like it a lot. Now, when it comes to the album and favourite tracks, well, I guess for most people, it's going to be, a lot of people anyway, it's going to be Smoke on the Water. And gosh, if you do a YouTube search for Smoke on the Water, you'll get, you know, a gazillion people playing the dun 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 dun. And we loved it. I mean, it's just a fantastic track. But my personal favourite was track 2 on side 2. I guess I could relate to that at the time. Hey, you know, when you're 16 years old, you're lazy, you just want to stay in bed. You don't want no money, you don't want no bread. So, anyway, at that time, I had a paper round, and I guess my parents helped out as well with anything bigger that I needed. All I was interested in was buying more albums, maybe repairing my Subbuteo players when they got broken, which they did. These games could get quite heated, you have to understand. You could get some very hard tackles involved. So there we are. So I'm sure you've all got your favourites. That's the track listing. Deep Purple, Machine Head equals Subbuteo. Thanks for watching, and remember, always stay in the groove.